to Rick Casale from exercisesforinjuries.com. I've been getting a lot of questions when it relates to what to do about sitting. So I wanted to go through the 4 best stretches to do if you end up sitting all day. And with these stretches, you can pretty much do them anywhere, so you can get up off your chair and go through the stretches, or at the end of the day, go through the stretches. So number 1 ends up being a 90-90 hip flexor stretch. So I'm kneeling down, I'm in a 90-90 position, I'm contracting my abdominal area, and I'm moving my hips forward, and I'm looking for a light stretch in the front of the hip, and I might carry on into the front of the hip joint. And this is it looking from straight ahead. From the side, so I'm here 90, 90, nice and tall, tightening through here, and then bringing my hip forward and looking at a light stretch, front of the thigh, front of the hip. So 90-90 hip flexor stretch. Now the second exercise ends up being a kneeling side bend lat stretch. So I can get up and offload my knee and offload the stretch, and then I can go back into that 90-90 position. I'm reaching up, and then I'm going to side bend a little bit, and I'm looking at stretching out that lat. And with the lat, when you sit for a long period of times, yes, your hip flexors end up getting tight, but also that lat ends up getting tight, especially on both sides. And so I'm in that 90-90 position, bring the arm overhead, and then I'm side bending. And it's not perfectly to the side, usually it's a little bit to the front, and I'm looking for a light stretch in that lat. And when it comes to the, how intense the stretch is, I find it ends up being a lot less than the 90-90 hip flexor stretch. Now, if you have back pain or history of back problems, you're not going to go over aggressive. What you're really trying to focus in on is locking the hip and just moving that upper body to the side and looking for a light stretch in that lat area. Now, looking at the third stretch, it ends up being a calf stretch. So I'm taking a good step forward. I've got that both toes pointing straight ahead, both feet are flat, and then I'm leaning forward. Now, it's best to kind of put your hand on something in order to get support and eliminate balance, because you want to focus on the stretch side of things. So moving forward, both toes are pointing straight ahead, that heel is flat, and I'm looking for a light stretch in that calf muscle. And then looking at the fourth one, it ends up being a standing full Nelson exercise. So full Nelson, I've interlaced the fingers behind the neck, and then I'm opening up. I'm really trying to focus on opening up, interlocking, opening up, bringing those elbows back, looking at getting a light stretch in the front of the chest. So there you go. Give those 4 stretches a go. What I recommend people to do is hold the stretch for a good 20 seconds and perform the stretch twice on each side, alternating. And if we kind of look at the 4 exercises, the 90-90 hip flexor stretch hits those hip flexors, that kneeling, side bending lat stretch ends up targeting that lat, which oftentimes ends up getting tight and shortening up when you're sitting, and especially if you're not sitting in perfect posture. That third one, constantly sitting, and if you move your feet and cross your legs and put pressure on the balls of your toes, that ends up activating the calf, and a lot of times that calf ends up being tight, so we end up loosening up with that calf, that standing calf stretch. And then number 4, that standing full Nelson stretch. And what we're doing there is we're working on stretching out the chest, the lats as well, and then also working on those muscles in the mid-back area, activating and strengthening them up. So there you go. Give those 4 stretches a go. If you end up sitting all day and you're looking at what you can do to help reverse that sitting, give those 4 exercises a go. So this is Rick Cassells from exercisesforinjury.com. Make sure to swing by exercisesforinjuries.com. Enter in your injury or pain. There's a good chance that an article, interview, or video that'll help you overcome your injury or pain. Secondly, if you're watching this on YouTube, head up above, hit subscribe. What that'll do is every couple days you'll get a video like this, or a guest video from one of my friends in the fitness world, or an interview, all helping you overcome injury or pain. Now thirdly, head down below, leave me a question or comment. So this is Rick Cassells from exercisesforinjuries.com. Say take care and bye-bye.